Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies. And this is The Story of the Newspaper by Manly P. Hall. An article from Horizon, Volume 7, Number 3, Winter 1947. The Story of the Newspaper. In all probability, the modern newspaper originated in China in the early days of woodblock printing. At first, publication was only occasional, when some great and important event was circulated to the people. The Chinese papers were printed by hand from hand-carved blocks especially prepared for each edition. Later, the Chinese developed movable type, which sped up their publication and made it possible to insert last-minute bits of news. As late as 1930, however, papers in both China and Tibet were still printed from the hand-cut blocks. Newspapers of various kinds have been in circulation in China for nearly 1,000 years. The daily paper came to Europe comparatively late, because there were so few who could read and write. The first city in Europe to have a newspaper was Venice, and the service began in the latter part of the 15th century. The paper was called a gazzetta, from which is derived our modern word gazette. There are several possible meanings for this word. Some trace it to gazzara, which means a magpie or chattering bird. Possibly the press of that time was burdened with gossip and small talk, as are the great journalists of today. Another origin for the word is gazzetta, a small coin which was the common price of the papers. Those of more classical minds suggest that the word came from the Latin gazza, a treasury of news. The Venetian Gazzetta was a government newspaper issued monthly and was dominated by the policies of the ruling house and the aristocracy. Soon the governments of other cities copied the Venetian plan, and gazettes sprang up all over Europe. The astonishing thing about the Venetian Gazzetta was that the government would not permit the publication of a printed newspaper. All issues had to be handwritten and distributed in manuscript. This kept copyists busy until the close of the 16th century, and as late as the 18th century, some Italian newspapers were circulated in handwritten form. The first English newspaper is said to have been inspired by the farsightedness of Queen Elizabeth and her counselor, Lord Burleigh. The first English newspaper was printed while the Spanish Armada was in the English Channel in 1588. The journal was called The English Mercury, printed at London by authority of Her Highness Printer. The purpose of this edition was to keep the people of England informed about the details of the war with Spain. Queen Elizabeth felt that it was a wise policy in a moment of great anxiety and general fear to prevent the danger of false reports by publishing real information as rapidly as it could be collected. Even these papers, however, were loaded with propaganda to further the cause of Lord Burleigh and inflame hatred against the Spanish. One of them contained a letter from Madrid in which it was stated that the Spanish intended to put the Queen of England to death, and another issue described in great detail instruments of torture which the Spanish had brought with them on their ships. The English Mercury was not published regularly, appearing only upon occasion, and containing such information as the government wished to have circulated. It never contained the news which the average citizen most desires to read. The format of this early press included religious arguments under such titles as Father Parson's Coat Well Dusted. There were also violent denials of court scandals and heroic poems dedicated to Her Majesty. There were also advertisements, principally of books published by the Queen's printer, Field and Baker. Later, personal columns were added and general advertising solicited. Patent medicines appeared early, and prominent criminal cases were given modest showing, catering to the morbid curiosity of the public. From the beginning of its history, the newspaper has been a powerful vehicle for the furtherance of the political ambitions of various partisan groups. Curiosities of Literature by I. D. Israel, Esquire D.C. LFSA, London 1839. I. D. Israel was the father of the great English statesman Benjamin D. Israel. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.